And you, come on. Mama said there will be days just like this. Come on. The grind for your mind, baby. Stand tall or not at all, baby. Let's get it. One thing we all adore, something worth dying for. There's nothing but pain. We stuck in this game, searching for fortune and fame. And the right, Jay Business. Shout out to you. I see you in the chat. Come on with it. Come on, Pittman. Let's go. Yup. Ain't no party like a Cowboy party. But what about a Law Nation rule? Yeah. Come on. Always going to give you guys the information that rules the nation. Come on. No days off, baby. It's time to get this thing going one way or another. Come on. Zombie, BBL, Drizzy. Come on. VA Cowboys in the house. I see you. 5. Queen, Cowboys Sports. I see you. Hey. 5, 4, 3. Let me know if the audio is straight. Ain't no party like a Law Nation party. Shout out to the 915. We live, baby. Come on. Hey. Oh. Come on. Montgomery, 2. 1. Nobody. Who can do you all night long? Nobody, baby. Keith Sweat can't even sing it that good now. Come on, baby. Shout out to all of you all. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to you. Kiss, I see you in the chat. All right, man. All right, Chad. Wait a minute. Chad out here with the hawk. Oh, my goodness. Too early for that. Come on, man. Yeah, Jerry just found out he got another child, you know. Shout out to Jerry Jones and them, man. All right, so the hating situation of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, the disrespect, right? Sometimes you got to be reminded of where you came from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sometimes you got to understand that everything is not green on the other side. Yeah. And I get it. You know, we looked into the situation of saying that he is the problem, right? And he started this all, you know, because before it was Dak Prescott. Well, it was always Dak Prescott's fault, and it was always now Michael Parsons' fault. But some way now that Mike McCarthy, it's his fault, you know. And we're going to talk about this. We're going to try to get everything going. Appreciate you, Toxic Splendor. Appreciate everybody, man. Shout out to Cliff in the house. Man, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. But with everything being said, ladies and gentlemen, Dan Quinn, when he was here, because I've been going back and forth with a few Eagles content creators, you know, on this right here. I've talked about this before because what happened here is a lot of people think, and let me fix up something right quick. I always forget to do this, but a lot of people think that, you know, everything is valid for the 3-letter or the 4-letter or anybody to say ill will things about the offense. But a lot of people have the notion that the Dallas Cowboys in the last 3 seasons been led by the defense. It's been all defense. Defense been the number 1 defense in the National Football League, right? And a lot of people think that the reason why we were 12-5, 12-5, 12-5 is largely because of the fact that we had Dan Quinn here, right? Ain't this right, Duff King? Appreciate you. And what tend to happen here is that people will always think that, hey, Dak Prescott been carried by this defense. Like we've been this version of the 2000 Ravens, right? The 01 Bucks, right? Or through that stretch of time between 2000 and you can argue all the way up to 09, maybe 2010, 2011 Patriots, where they've been always been this solid defense. That we've been this particular team, that we've been a defensive-minded team since 2021, 2022, 2023, last season, what have you. And I've been on the battleship of telling people, I'm like, look, dog, look, we like this team. This team is good and all, but we ain't the 85 Bears. We're not even the 90s versions of this particular defensive side. But most people will think that, hey, we are that particular team. And I'm going to ask you guys, the beautiful people that's watching right now, under the sound of my voice, when, since we're going to throw 2020 up out of the situation, right? We're just going to take 2020 up out of it. But when did the defense ranked higher than the Cowboys offense? When? I need to know. I want to know. Ain't this right? Cuts by Jones. Appreciate you, K. Sean, when? I need to know, like, when did this defense? Riggs! I need to know. I want to know. I got to know, baby. There's Riggs out here.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
If you really think that this defense been like, oh man, juggernaut of a defense. I need to know. Now, here's my other situation here. When Dak Prescott threw his final pass in each game, because this was an argument that was out here before, Week 1, he threw his final pass. We had 11 minutes and 42 change, We had in week 2, 9 minutes and 18 change left on the table. Week 4, 8 minutes and 42. Week 5, 12 minutes and 58. Week 8, 12 minutes and 13 change, right? Week 10, third quarter. The dude had to sit out in the third quarter. He sat out a whole half, right? In week 11, week 12, and week 18, he sat out majority of the fourth quarter. For him to still get spit upon, for him to still get ridiculed. And this is just the offensive side. This is the quarterback. And I get the hate. I get the scrutiny. You're right? Right? And shout out to Pat Mahomes. He get a child every time he get a Super Bowl. He got 3 of them now. Well, he having one on the way. And, Yeah, Pat Mahomes, I don't know, man. Hey, I ain't going to say anything. I don't want to get canceled over here. No melanation in them. I'm just saying. But neither here nor there. Shout out to Pat Mahomes. But Lord Bronson says, show us the defense did in those games were a great example of complementary football. But what's going on collectively is, here's the thing. That this particular team never had the situation and scenario that it been all defense. Like, look, we had some moments where the defense was getting some takeaways, but we never felt as if though what the Ravens did last season, or even to a degree of even when the 49ers was on their run, So that's just what I'm saying, So I'm curious to know from 2021 until now, that's how my granddaddy would say, that the Dallas Cowboys defense ranked higher than the offense. I need to find out. We never got a chance to see that. Now, this dude brought up a very valuable point. Timmy Burner. Now, I don't want to click on his account, but he said they lost one game without Dak Prescott. On the flip side, that was in 2022, right? On the flip side of that, I think that the defense showed off their natural tail, right? And you got to give kudos and credence to the offense, too, for what Mike McCarthy was able to dial back some things so that this particular team can win those particular games. But this is not to take away from Cooper Rush, nor this is to take away from that particular defense. But what's sustainable enough was that we all knew that the offense went from ranked top 5 to bottom half, 25th, 28th in the National Football League. Now, granted, some people will say, hey, man, law. But still, we were 5-1 with Cooper. Well, Cooper Rush is 5-1 in his career. That same said quarterback that went and hit the open market, all 32 teams passed up on Cooper Rush. So you mean to tell me that Cooper Rush was so great and so good as a quarterback that there are 32 other owners, general managers, because we got to include ourselves, didn't see value in Cooper Rush, that they allow him to be passed through? I can't make this stuff up because people went back and watched the tape. The defense at that particular moment was able to win in certain situations. I can't take that away from Dan Quinn in his stretch of time here coaching the Dallas Cowboys. I can't take that away. But at the end of the day, people saw that this offense went from top 5 to bottom half, 27-28, respectfully. Katrina, Kiss, appreciate you. Your name is entered in. Girl, if this helmet, you'll be the first, to see with the helmet on the thing, girl. I love to see it, I have to say, it's from Kiss. I have to say this Dan Quinn sabotaged the playoff game against Green Bay. He found out that he wasn't going to be the head coach in Dallas. And that is very much so on the table. It's very much so on the table. That's very much so on the table. That's very much so on the table. Self-preservation. Right. I was reading an article that they said that your bite force from your mouth can literally bite off your thumb. But what happened here, as soon as you bite down on it, right, it sends a signal to the brain. That's why we have pain, baby, for self-preservation. I can't bite through my own hand because those signals in the brain. And when we got into these particular playoff games and we got into looking at the stretch of everything, self-preservation stepped in. Dan Quinn was looking at, hey, how can I save Mama Quinn, daughter Quinn, where they going to be going to school at? This job belongs to me. Right? Not cannibalism. Yeah. Cannibalisms. Yeah. Self-preservation. Now, you can bite through someone else's hand, right? But not your own. Unless you're on one of those Saw movies or something like that. But let's get to the main topic at hand. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let's talk about this. Who remember Haley? She used to be one of the beat reporters for Dallas, and she got promoted to CBS, I think, for another region. And she didn't do a good job. She did a great job here with the and drugs too. Yeah. Drugs have you biting your eyelids if possible. But Here's what she had to say. Let me know if you guys can hear audio. Yeah.
I do like the energy that he brings. I wish Mike McCarthy had a little bit more of that energy when we're talking about my Dallas Cowboys and what they have going on. This is a guy who has an incredible pedigree from a coaching standpoint. And even in his time in Dallas, all but one of his seasons, he's finished with 12 wins. So, Lige, I see you have him here on your list at number 9. I'm okay with that, but just talk us through putting Mike there at that 9 spot.
The disrespect from Mike McCarthy needs to stop. Like it's utterly.
An ally today.
If you were to move on from Mike McCarthy, you better have somebody lying in waiting that is going to come in and have as much success as he did. The last 3 years, there's only one coach that has more wins than Mike McCarthy in the regular season. You know what that is? That's the number 1 guy on my list, Andy Reid.
Man, to be mentioned in the same grace, it's a good thing. 36-15, and I can hear the Eagles fans. Hold on. Let me hear the Eagles fans right quick.
We're looking great. Go Birds.
We answered. I talked stuff. I thought we had it, but it goes to show you who's a better team. And I'm sticking Cowboys.
You're crying.
I'm hurt. I love my Eagles. I don't believe it.
You gonna flap the hat one more time for the Eagles for the hard fight they did?
Let's go Birds, fly Eagles, flies.
Hey, he said that they a better team. We looking great. Yeah. But they up there, but hey, they said who's the better team. But listen, I had to troll the trolls,
Some respect needs to be paid to Mike McCarthy. And I'll take it a step further. People forget when Kellen Moore left, Dallas already had an explosive offense. People were worried about Mike McCarthy play calling because he hadn't done it in so many years. Haley, you know what they did? They were the number 1 scoring offense in football last year.
Yes, I know what they did.
People wonder, would CeeDee Lamb be a true number 1 receiver? Well, with Mike McCarthy at the helm calling plays, CeeDee Lamb was a true number 1 receiver. I get people saying in certain situational football aspects, he is not always at his best. But if you even go to that playoff game, that wasn't on the offensive side. The defense didn't show up. 48 points. The offense still put up 32 points. So that's not on Mike McCarthy. When you're losing at the line of scrimmage, I hate to tell you that. It's on the players. It's not on the coach. So the disrespect has to end for Mike McCarthy because the grass isn't always greener on the other side. If you lose him, who else are you going to bring in?
Now, let's give a shout out to Haley, man. I love her glow. She's glowing over there, and shout out to all of her success right there. And you can tell that she's working a great deal with the company there. And I tell people all the time, always leverage your situation to make yourself win, right? And she's been winning by advancing, right? But the levels of disrespect, because he did say the grass is not always green on the other side. And I got to let y'all know that at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the globe, we've been into worse situations. Who else could probably coach this team and to get us winning factors? Maybe you can talk about the Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. Maybe you can say, hey, is it possible that you can come here, right, and we'll elevate and keep Mike Zim for another season? That dynamic, maybe, right? Who else can probably fit in as a coach here? Maybe Bill Belichick, but, hey, last I checked, that Mike McCarthy beat out Bill Belichick team twice. He's 2-0 versus Bill Belichick. He's been beating them out, but that's a whole nother conversation. We don't want to go back and forth with that logical way of thinking, right? Dan Campbell face ratio. Dan Campbell is not finna leave Detroit and come here to coach, by the way. But maybe Ben Johnson. That would be the guy that you would probably, and who's the other guy? Mike Vrabel. Where Mike Vrabel at, y'all? Y'all help me out. Maybe, but these guys like Mike Vrabel and Bill Belichick, these boys probably will be too much of an alpha male to rock around in this particular parts. That's just being real with y'all 1,000% of the way. Because at the end of the day, when you start to think of it, the Cowboys. Let's look into the history of where they've been at with the coaching aspect of it, because that's Tom Landry. And Tom Landry been here for about 30 years. He coached for about 30 years. 2 Super Bowls. So that lets you know, hey, getting to the winning Super Bowl is hard, man. And he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. 2 Super Bowls, right? Now, he's been to multiples, but we won 2 with him. And then we stroll all the way down for Jimmy. He's been here for 5 years, and his impact, we still talk about Jimmy to this day, right? And we could argue that all 3 of the Super Bowls came from him, but he got 2 of them under his resume. 2 of them, right? Yeah, you know. And then we went to Switzer, who pretty much, he went from 94 to 97, pretty much 64 and 40. And then we've been on this chase. We've been trying to get back to those days of Jimmy Johnson to this day. So we had the Changaleys of the worlds. We had the Dave Campos, 15 and 33. We had Bill Parcells. Believe it or not, 64 and 34. You know, if I'm reading this right, let me make sure I'm reading this right. Yeah. No, hold on. I got it wrong. I'm reading it wrong. Hold on. He was 40 and 24. Changale was 18 and 14. Dave Campo 15 and 33. Bill Parcells 34 and 30. So we got to understand that he inherited a 5 and 11 team, though. Let's just be real with that. So look, we don't want to go back and forth with who's the better coach since that time frame. The craziest thing of it all, your all-time winningest coach, or your second all-time winningest coach, is Jason Garrett, because he's been here for 10 seasons. That's a long time. And if you really add in the fact that he was here when Wade Phillips was here, you got to add in the fact that he was here basically for 13 and a half seasons. That's a long time. A long time. So for us to think that all of a sudden, let's get rid of a guy that went 12 and 5, who's 42 and 25 since he's been here out of 67 games. He's a .627 winning percentage, right? Believe it or not, Wade Phillips never had a losing season. The season that he had to finally the losing season, they fired him. You know, that's crazy. I can't make this stuff up. But what I'm saying here is that the disrespect is real. The disrespect is real. Because everybody wants to get rid of something that we had. Yeah. Everybody want to treat this situation. Like Megan Good did the other day with the dude. Who saw that? You know, it's literally, y'all treat this situation like, hey, come on. Yo. Yeah. That boy start wiping his nose, doing everything. They get in on this. They wrong. They go zoom in on the man's face, man. Come on, man. It's just disrespect. You know, why is it? Yeah. That's slow motion. You know, look at he like that. God dang, no, you know what I mean? Look at the countenance on his face. He know what was going on. Come on, man. Hey, why y'all treat Mike McCarthy like that? Come on, man.
Damn!
That boy reaching in the bag. He ain't got nothing in the bag. He just started reaching. That boy reaching in the bag. He ain't gonna pour nothing out. You know, he got the shades and everything. You know, the glasses falling off the face. Come on, man. How disrespectful you got to be. Come on. Hey, shit. Hey, that's there right there, and you know what he want to say. Like, come on, how disrespectful you gonna be? Because this dude, this light-skinned, green-eye assassin right here, he is an assassin right here. Yeah, no, and look at him. He like, man, I really wanna show my tail, but I really can't because you know the news and the press is already on me like right now. But look at the countenance. He's like, boy, you know I gotta work on this image.
It's an evil world we live in.
Yo, don't cancel me though. But there should be a man law. This is man law. Let's say 516. Man law 516, and no man should be in the presence with his lady and another man lifting his lady off her feet. Man law 516. That shouldn't have happened. Another man lifting your woman off of her feet. Come on, baby. That shouldn't have happened. And then they didn't even dap him up first.
What's up, baby? How you doing? Good to see you, man. Everything good? How you doing, Mike? How was it?
Shit. Oh, Smooth didn't know what the hell to do with them damn glasses, though.
Get your up there, contain the damn ball. This is why we do it. Hey, too many missed tackles. Let's go. We're too damn soft. I just hate mistakes.
Oh, my gosh, man.
I hate mistakes.
All right, man. Let's get back to it.
All right, love it.
I can't stop it. It's too early. All right, man. Let me quit. But this is how y'all disrespecting Mike McCarthy too, though, man.
Dion was like, I'm on.
All right, back to the scheduled program of the day. Man, you guys been allowing other people in the 3-ladder and the 4-ladder network to pick this team up off the feet while Mike McCarthy is there. People been giving credit to Dan Quinn, where Mike McCarthy been putting in all of the extra work. People been giving credit to other things and situation when at the same time, when we look back at the schedule line for the coaches that's been here, outside of Bill Parcells, Mike McCarthy been doing his business here for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, Mike McCarthy disrespected himself, Law. He agreed to be welcome, Pat, coming into the job. Yeah. Now, granted, action power, that is a very great analogy that Mike McCarthy allowed the disrespect on the front end. That's a very good one. That I can't take that away. Just like Smooth, he allowed Megan Goods to be picked up right in front of him. He could have stepped right in and said, hey, you know, hey, chill, dog, chill. That's my lady, right? Right? Because Mike McCarthy could have did that week one. Hey, I get it. Y'all want Kellen Moore, but I got to bring in my system, my philosophy. And then he'll be exiled from here, crucified. They would have shanked him with the butter knife. Sunglasses falling onto the video camera. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to you, Adrian Lopez. Appreciate it. I love that emoji there. I love that thing that they got going on that one. Appreciate you. So at the end of the day, at the end of the day, disrespect is across the board, right? But you got to earn your respect too. And Mike McCarthy was looking at it like, hey, I don't have longitudes and latitude. They hired me because, yes, I, in the past, won a Super Bowl, right? But that was, 12, 13 years ago at that time frame. So it's been a long time. But he was trying to get back into the graces. The last time he was coaching a team was in 2018, right? So that's a long time from this particular standpoint. And I get all of that, ladies and gentlemen. But let's play this audio right here because I really want to get into – hold on, let me find it right quick. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate y'all. Because the thing now is that what people are trying to say and what people are trying to do is that they're trying to give you this right here too. Everybody is coming up with this topic line. Should Dak Prescott stay or should he go? Is Dak Prescott being the one that's disrespected too? And can he get his respect somewhere else? You know, Action Power says, Law, would a grown man has a slumber party for a job? Law, what grown man has a slumber party for a job? You gotta prepare me more context.
Adrian Lopez, $10.
Appreciate you, but you got to prepare. Bring me more context with that, man. People have all type of parties here and there, man. I don't know, man, what grown men do, but yeah. Brandy says, I'm tired of the Dak and McCarthy haters, and here's what it is.
I deserve so much better.
What's on your mind?
So, you know, we're back on Dak Prescott once again, and I got to tell you, Rich, this guy deserves so much better. I need to say this. The guy needs to play out the last year of his contract in Dallas and just move on because it's not his fault that he has only 2 wins under his belt in the playoffs for the Cowboys. It's Rich, let me put it this way. I was 7 years old the last time the Cowboys played an NFC Championship game. That's how long it's been since the Cowboys have done anything. It doesn't matter how many times they've gone to the playoffs and done this and done that. Every single year, it's always like every single day, it's drama with this team.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Action Powell says he stayed overnight with Jerry for a job. Oh, okay. You talking about when he came to the facility? Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. He was trying to get the job, bro. And he got the job. And he took less money than most coaches with Super Bowl on their resume. He's one of the lowest paid coaches in the National Football League. And to add into that insult of disrespect, he don't have an offensive coordinator. So that's money that the Cowboys are saving on the books. They don't have to pay an offensive coordinator because he's the head coach / offensive coordinator. Right? So they are saving money and they're being disrespected. So what people are saying, even to like for this video, like let's rewind. Let's rewind to this point. Listen to again what he said. And you can tie in to the Megan Good situation. Watch. He's going to say, hey, you ought to just leave her. Basically, you can tie it in.
What's
Watch.
on your mind?
What's on your mind?
So, you know, we're back on Dak Prescott once again, and I got to tell you, Rich, this guy deserves so much better. I need to say this. The guy needs to play out the last year of his contract in Dallas and just move on because it's not his fault that he has only 2 wins under his belt in the playoffs for the Cowboys. It's Rich. Let me put it this way. I was 7 years old the last time the Cowboys played an NFC Championship game. That's how long it's been since the Cowboys have done anything. It doesn't matter how many times they've gone to the playoffs and done this and done that. Every single year, it's always like every single day, it's drama with this team.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an episode of All of My Children with this team every single day.
Well, I get it. I just think that.
Thank you so much, Ratio. He says all he had to do was take Jerry out for some Jack and Coke and get the job. No did it. Shout out to you, man, Ratio. Your name is entered in, too, to win this beautiful helmet as well. Appreciate all of y'all, man, for y'all support, man. Y'all gonna have a law at the Rich Carlton, man. I appreciate y'all.
That's the way ownership likes it, and I think that's the way that ownership is used to doing it, and I think that's the spell my name right PR strategy. And thanks for the call, Derek. I appreciate it, and that's just the way it always has been with the Dallas Cowboys. Always, even when they were winning their championships. That's just the way it is. That's the way it was with the Yankees in the 70s and the 80s and the. And when they were winning championships then, and I think it's just that part and parcel for certain franchises, that's the way it goes, and that's certainly the heat that comes on it, and that's the fan base that's so passionate about it. But that leads me to a question I want to ask you, TJ Jefferson, and I need the Emmis truth here from you, sir.
Okay. The what?
The ultimate truth.
Yeah.
Emmis?
Emmis?
I've never heard that before.
I need the truth from you.
Okay.
Would Dak Prescott, for the rest of his career, be better off somewhere else?
Oh, man.
What Derek in Missouri just said, because he said he feels for Dak and that Dak deserves better. Dak also is, feathering his bed with Jones' money, and if that's what matters in this world, and it does for a lot of people, and of course it is very important to be generationally enriched. He's doing very well for himself, and when you are the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, that does put you in a certain pedestal. It certainly allows you, if you're a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys or a pass rusher for the New York Giants, you're in a better position to succeed or a quarterback in general, obviously, of a big franchise.
Well,
it gives you a better shot to be a successful in media if that's your desire once you're done.
So you just gave the answer that I was going to give you.
Okay.
Depends on how you look at things. Is it about making money? Because bottom line is that's what it's all about. People can say I don't do it for money.
No, it's about wins. It's about making the Hall of Fame.
Is it though?
I'm asking. I'm putting you in this box. In this construct.
It's so tough because, like you said, being the quarterback of the Cowboys does present you with opportunities that others won't get. Tony Romo doesn't have that gig if he was the Bengals quarterback. Jason Witten doesn't
Hold on a second. Boomer Esiason got a gig.
I mean, okay, that's true.
I just want to push back from what a Bengal fan might say.
Won an MVP, though. Boomer won an MVP and been to 2 Super Bowls.
I mean, Phil Simms won a Super Bowl in the 80s, and
get him.
And his CBS run just came to an end.
Giants, though, number one market.
Number one market. So I'm saying take a smaller market team like Roma.
Well, here's how it goes. The ideal of being in the Cowboys world, right? He's already accomplished that. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, Dak can literally leave. He's already accomplished being a Cowboys quarterback. So him stand to get extra perks from the Cowboys, that's already subsided. Law, do you have any truth to that? Yeah. Benjamin DiNucci. Man, everybody wearing True Believe hats everywhere. Dude's making millions. He's making more money selling hats than he ever made playing football. And he was never the starting quarterback. It's just the ideology that Ben Anthony DiNucci was already within the confines of playing for the Cowboys. And he once played with the Silver and Blue. Let that $20 holler go.
QWN Cowboy Sports $20. Oxnard Funds Law.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate ya. Appreciate you, Cowboy Sports. The QW Queens Cowboy Sports. Appreciate you. So this whole thing with Dak Prescott is so many people try to make it about the money. But when it's really not about the money, it's about the levels of respect now. So many people are ready to move on, some of the trolls, some of the haters. But realistically, it's not about that. It's about respect. It's about respect. And he's not getting that. When you when you have the utmost respect for something and you love something, I'll never forget when I had my first car, I washed that sucker every day. I made sure that I put all type of protections over said car because I respect it. You take good care of your car take good care of you. Made sure he got his oil changed. Made sure that you did the necessary components. Now, was it a Ferrari? No. Was it a Lambo? No. Let the AI speak. Come on. With it.
Zombie Barrel Drizzy Cowboy Lover $19.99. Listen properly. In deepening, the keys to winning a championship have always been on offense, running the ball, and on defenses, stopping the run. Not a damn thing has changed.
In the beginning.
He right. No, and put this helmet on, man. I hope you are one of the names that get pulled for this particular drawing here. Appreciate it for the Oxnard Fund. Yeah. And shout out to you, Big Rubs. He says he need that helmet. Your name is Internet? Yeah. In the beginning.
In the beginning.
No doubt. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is all about respect factor now. Right? And when we start talking about the differences between $4 or $5 million, because that's just what it is, from $55 to $60 million, what? That is a difference of, that's how much Mozzie Smith is getting paid right now. Mozzie Smith is getting paid anywhere between $2 to $4 million, right? So this is a difference of one player stretched out over a few years. Come on, man.
Mo Witten, they don't get those opportunities. Would Dak be better off? It depends on what Dak wants, Rich. I really like if he doesn't want to have to pick up his phone every 3 hours and hear his name on someone's mouth talking about a boot. Mm-hmm. Remember one year it was about he didn't throw for about 2 weeks during camp, and that was an uproar. Like, what's wrong?
Oh yeah, like he needed to see a pitching. He was seeing pitching coaches.
Yeah. So there's
from baseball.
Always something, and people always want to go, well, it's Cowboys fans. I still don't know that that's necessarily the truth. I think it's the media because the Cowboys are the biggest, most valuable team out there. So I really can't answer that. I don't know what Dak is in this for. Is he in it just to make money? Because that's what he should be. Because when you're putting your body on the line, you got to stack your paper.
So then let's go there. Let's go here then. Utilizing what you just said. How about this? Does he knows one way to do it, and he could stick where it is. He doesn't leave CD, right? In the same way that Justin Jefferson said that Kirk Cousins leaving surprised him, and it didn't. He, again, not to repeat myself, but I will. It's Sports Talk Radio. Mike Francesa used to repeat himself 5 times in the same segment.
Well, because you never know who's tuning in.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, you never know.
So Jefferson elaborated on why he wasn't surprised and left alone why he was surprised. And I interpreted that to say the reason why he's surprised is why would he leave me? So you're leaving CeeDee Lamb, who is, you would say, on par with Justin Jefferson? When I said Justin Jefferson is the best in the business, you're like, what about CeeDee Lamb?
I think right now, Lamb is first.
I think Lamb
had a better year last year.
Has every reason to tell Jerry Jones, pay me like Justin Jefferson.
Exactly. Boy, exactly. Terrence Jones, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for your support. Yeah. Yeah, the whole money factor, man, is it's not going to elevate you from doing one thing to another, right? It's money and processes of things that you put in hard-earned time because it is the way that everybody knows that money answereth all things. It don't say a few things. So it's just what it brings to the table. It's what, hey, this is what I should get out of the market of what I've done so far, right? So it's not like, Dak Prescott is out here or Mike McCarthy is out here saying, hey, give us $1 billion, right? Mike McCarthy is looking at this day saying, hey, I don't have a contract for the foreseeable future. The quarterback that I'm coaching don't have a contract for the foreseeable future. What's going on? And that's right, Rodriguez. What's good with you?
Jose Rodriguez, $19.99. You the man, Law. Here's some 99 for your training camp mind and for some beans and bologna.
Yeah, get some nice beans and bologna. Come on, man.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Please come home.
What I got?
Beans and
bologna. Come on with it, baby. Appreciate you, man. I'm definitely going to put your name is entered into that. And hopefully you'll be one of the people that name get called. And Blake, appreciate you. He says 58 days until kickoff. Go Cowboys from Philadelphia. Come on, man.
This is where we
Come on, man, representing Philly.
This is where we fight.
Come on. You representing Philly, but you are a Cowboy fan. That's what I love to hear, man. Come on, Swayze. Can you cover Shador Sanders on Saturdays? I will be looking at Shador Sanders because, part of the sponsorship packages, is brought to you by absolutely. You got to believe. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to the Prime Time family, man, and all what they're doing. And shout out to Prime, man. So shout out to my guy. And, I'll be watching.
More so than one would say Ayuk can do that with Jed York.
Factual. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Factual. So you're sticking. You could stick with CD. You stay in Dallas. You don't have to move. You know the owner. You know the situation, and you're built for. Okay, so they're all focused on my shoulder one year. They're focused on my leg the next. Mm-hmm. I'm also, in line to maybe be the first $60 million a year quarterback, and I have never been within 2 games of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's cool. Or,
man, I just want to tell y'all, man.
Is it better off for him to find another spot where?
Here you go. I just want to tell y'all, man. How often are we going to use this Super Bowl thing, man? Like, I get it. I want us to win the Super Bowl. I definitely want us to lift up that Lombardi trophy. But how often are we going to continue to use, hey, man, you got to pay the guy that won the Super Bowl or been to the Super Bowl before you pay the guy who haven't been. It's the way of the market. And it doesn't matter how many times I can tell y'all about Lamar Jackson. I can tell you guys about Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray. None of those guys got rings or multiple playoff wins, or beyond playoff wins. And when we use this argument only for one player out of 32 teams, it's crazy, bro. Yeah, like Reggie says, why pay for trash? Why pay for trash? I feel you, though, Reggie. I absolutely feel you. Who do you want? I ask people this all the time. Who do you want as your quarterback? The phone line for your mind is open. The phone lines for your mind is open. By the way, they've been taking real good care of me. Appreciate Prize Picks. 657-390-7391. And the Prize Pick specialty is Flex Friday. You can opt in to save and get cash back with Flex on them Friday. With that being said, you can opt in. You don't have to use it today. You can use it tomorrow and down the line. But neither here nor there. 100% of your deposit match up to $100 will be applied to you. So I always ask, who do you want, right? Who would have been able to win? Do you want the Trevor Lawrence here, right? Do you want the Joe Burrows here? Well, yeah. 31 other teams would have loved to drafted Joe Burrows, right? That's why he was drafted in the first round. So those options are not on the table, right? That's equivalent. That's equivalent to me saying, or one of y'all saying that, yeah, I want let me just use this as an example. I want, let me see who I can use. And I'm just using this as an analogy. I want Beyonce. You know, she's already taken. She's already acquired, right? Or is the equivalent to this guy saying, hey, he wanted Megan Good. He wanted Megan Good. Well, Megan Good. Yeah. Pull up the screen. Come on, here. He wanted Megan Good, but she's already taken for him, right? So he can go up there and squeeze her. He can squeeze her, but he ain't gonna be able to get her, right? She's already taken. I'm just picking on old boy. I heard he's from Cedar Hill, Texas. So shout out to my guy, man, Texas native, man. Shout out to him, man. Yeah. Somebody in the chat says, hey, they want Ice Spice. Trick said he want Ice Spice, right? Dwayne said he wants Zendaya. He want it, right? Is he able to get it? You know, that's the thing. Do you qualify for those things? They're not on the market, is what they're trying to say. So Josh Allen is not on the market. Burrows is not on the market. The only thing that's on the market right now is the quarterback that you got. Now, can you win with your quarterback? Yes, it's already proven. He's 12-5, 12-5, 12-5, or he can get you north of 500, right? Now, here's another side of the coin. Just like what they said with this particular, I'm just doing a recap for those who just not tuning in. I'm seeing more and more people jumping in. But just to do a recap of all of this, you know, it's just like what they said here. Let's go back to this video and listen properly. Listen with more context now.
I do like the energy that he brings. I wish Mike McCarthy had a little bit more of that energy when we're talking about my Dallas Cowboys and what they have going on. This is a guy who has an incredible pedigree from a coaching standpoint. And even in his time in Dallas, all but one of his seasons, he's finished with 12 wins. So, Lige, I see you have him here on your list at number 9. I'm okay with that, but just talk us through putting Mike there at that 9 spot.
The disrespect from Mike McCarthy needs to stop. Like it's
I'm glad
utterly.
to have an ally today.
It's utterly, if you were to move on from Mike McCarthy, you better have somebody lying and waiting that is going to come in and have as much success as he did. The last 3 years, there's only one coach that has more wins than Mike McCarthy in the regular season. You know what that is? That's the number 1 guy on my list, Andy Reid. So some respect needs to be paid to Mike McCarthy. And I'll take it a step further. People forget when Kellen Moore left, Dallas already had an explosive offense. People were worried about Mike McCarthy play calling because he hadn't done it in so many years. Haley, you know what they did? They were the number 1 scoring offense in football last year.
I know what they did.
People wonder, would CeeDee Lamb be a true number 1 receiver? Well, with Mike McCarthy at the helm calling plays, CeeDee Lamb was a true number 1 receiver. I get people saying in certain situational football aspects, he is not always at his best. But if you even go to that playoff game, that wasn't on the offensive side. The defense didn't show up. 48 points. The offense still put up 32 points. So that's not on Mike McCarthy. When you're losing at the line of scrimmage, I hate to tell you that. It's on the players. It's not on the coach. So
yeah, so that brings more context to the table, baby. And I just wanted to tell y'all that. So, yeah, you can want a certain thing, but be appreciative of what you have and work that out and see what we can do in order to win, to get ahead. All right, so with that being said, I have Coach Marv, and then I have the 214 that's in the mix. All right, Coach Marv from the 803, you're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to us.
Hey, Law, how you doing? Just got a couple of issues, man.
Talk to me.
And you know, when y'all start talking about this coaching thing, you know, that really interests me about this. And it bleeds into Dak. And the first thing I want to say is going on to Dak. Well, I don't think there's much the disrespect from Mike McCarthy is more of a disrespect for Dak Prescott. Because there's one common denominator that I don't even think really Mike McCarthy did too much different with this offense. It's just Dak just had one of those years that he was, got hurt early in the season the year before, so he had a little bit more interceptions, but the offense still did well that year, even though he had interceptions.
Right.
The common denominator is Dak makes all the offensive coordinators look good.
Yep.
That's just the bottom line.
That's the,
it's not about it with.
Oh, you're right, because at the end of the day, Jason Garrett looked so good that he got an offensive coordinator job, and they realized that, hey, it was fool's gold. He couldn't average over 16 points a game. Hey, even within the confines of this whole situation with, hey, Kellen Moore, the young phenom, boy wonder, he went over to another system where the quarterback's supposed to be better than Dak Prescott, and all of a sudden that quarterback started to look like Dak Prescott, with the quote unquote, with the interceptions, the injuries, et cetera, with no really rhyme or reasons on how to play. It was crazy. Yeah.
This is what we don't. This is remarkable. And I ask everybody who out there listening, think about it. Every other quarterback, if this was Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, they'll be talking about the quarterback made the offensive coordinator look good. This guy's made he made a rookie coordinator look like he was all world his job. He was taking guys that was and built their careers, that went on and got better. Stokes wasn't even thought about as being a great tight end. Now he's one of the highest paid tight ends. All this became because of Dak Prescott.
Facts.
Listen, man, if this was any other quarterback, we would be praising the quarterback and not praising the coordinator. But now we're praising the coach and saying, well, the coach did this and that. Well, listen, man, Mike McCarthy took over a thing that was already set. This is why I try to tell people that the talent part is never been no problem here. We get upset about the talent part, but the talent part is what's getting us to 12 figures. The talent part is what's keeping us in the top in the offensive stats. Even when you talk about we don't have a second wide receiver, we got so much talent on this team that we're going to look good. But when we get into a point where we need the head coach is, and this is where this is undeniable and this is a fact. The playoff game when he said his team was scared, he didn't have his team prepared. That's his job. That ain't got nothing to do with the Jones. When he said after this game, his team was not ready, that ain't got nothing to do with the Jones. When we have big games like Buffalo, big games like those things, we lay an egg. That's that's never talent. That's his job to get his team motivated. When he comes out and says early during the season that this team has a problem with success, and you don't do anything to fix it, that's your problem. If you said your subordinates, your offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator didn't do what you wanted them to do, or your special team coach called something, you have to talk to him about that in the middle of the game. That means you're not a leader.
Right, and those are one of the things that we all said that those are his warts, right? Like those warts right there is a by far a true issue, right? But I truly believe that when me and Jay Tuck, we talked the other day, and I said, man, what are some of the things that this team can do in order to get over the hump? And I said that these guys got to be real and true to the front office, and they got to tell them, hey, we can get the job done, but if Denzel Jackson can't bust through a wet paper bag, or if Rodgers can't bust through a wet paper bag, they can't appease the front office and say, okay, I can make do with this. They're going to have to make sure that they can bring bodies in there that those guys can make impact. The same with the offensive side with that. But hear me out on this, coach. Yes, but an ant can't knock over an elephant. That's what an ant can't do it. You can coach. We got
an elephant.
Where on that front? Where on that front? I'm talking about the defense. Where on that front that we knew for sure that we needed to go and get those linebackers, and we were sitting there using guys that's 205. I'm 205 pounds. We were using 205-pound guys to stop the run. Go ahead.
We talking about this is excuse making.
Excuse making. Those are facts that nobody want to hear, Coach.
Okay.
Those are facts.
Let's correct the linebacker spot.
All right, correct the linebacker spot.
Let's correct the linebacker spot. Let's go ahead. Make games say we have better linebackers.
Go ahead.
Well, what happened to our all-pro defensive backfield that gave up big play after big play.
Big play after big play because they were starting to climb. Like you coach football, coach. Yeah. No, those are not excuses because Aaron Jones was averaging 8.5 yards per rush. So when you do that, then that takes away. They were more acceptable to the play action. And on top of that, coach, we had guys that were able to cover blades of grass better than J-Ron Kurtz, but they kept J-Ron Kurtz out there. So you mean to tell me that's a Kurtz decision to be still out there on the field, or they should have put Wanye Thomas out there? Is that a coaching decision, or there's a personnel decision, or there's a player skill set decision?
If this team was ready to play,
right,
those things would have not happened.
That means that Kurtz would have been on the sidelines, right, Coach?
No.
Oh, man, come on, man. That's like, hold on, Coach. So you mean to tell me, hold on. You mean to tell me that I can bench Shaq and we can still be able to win championships because I said that, hey, there's no excuses. I can have my best player on the bench and we can still win championships? That don't make sense there, Coach.
Well, let me ask you this question. I'll tell you this. If you're allowing your players to watch film on San Francisco during the game before you play Green Bay, you ain't going to win that game.
True. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying that the Cowboys overlooked the Green Bay Packers. They could have. But at the end of the day, that still falls in lines with the overall coaching philosophy, right? If you want to use that. But it also falls in line with personnel. You can be the greatest coach of you be the greatest coach of all time, but you still need players.
If their personnel was good enough to be a top 10 defense.
Top 10 defense in what? Overall. Okay, so where were they in rushing? Where were they in stopping the run?
Okay, I'm like this. I'll put it like this. San Francisco gave them more rushing yards against Green Bay than we did.
San Francisco gave up more rushing yards, but what did San Francisco was able to do ultimately? Yeah, but what you are implying? What you are implying that the Cowboys, the San Fran coaching staff and their personnel department is just equivalent to the Cowboys.
They gave up more rushing yards to us. Yeah, play action pass, third down.
Yeah, and then wait a minute. They gave up more rushing yards, but who else on the offensive side? Did they lean on one player to make something happen, or was it multiple players? Because I know I watched the game, and I know you watched the game. Was it one player, or was it multiple players?
San Francisco offense?
Yeah.
San Francisco offense wasn't even better than ours. We scored 33 points.
And who else? And what else happened?
Did we score 33 points? If we don't have
Yeah.
So we scored 32 points, didn't we?
All right. And hold on. Coach, there's one film out there with one Luke Musgrave that people thought that it was Photoshop, Coach, that he caught a touchdown that nobody was in the proximity of him within 15 to 20 yards.
Was your team mentally prepared to be able to stay in that game?
Regardless of mentality, Coach.
And
regardless of mentality, Coach. Regardless of that do come from head coaching, but at the end of the day, you can't have your other part of the person that's supposed to be with you to do that. Come on, Coach.
And let me ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Is this something that just happened in Dallas, or is this his DNA and does that happen to McCarthy before?
Put it like this.
I'm asking.
Put it like this.
Answer that question.
Put it like this. Mike McCarthy did a better job of assessing this than the last 5 coaches that was with it.
I ain't talking about this Cowboy. I'm talking about Mike McCarthy. Mm-hmm. Isn't this a DNA trait that he has shown before?
Mike McCarthy don't coach defense.
Isn't this a DNA trait when he took the Green Bay team, who was much more talented than the Giants team, and lost when he was 15-1, basically the same type of way? when they wasn't ready to play.
So what you're saying that it is right for Mike McCarthy to be disrespected as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys based off of what the defense or inability to prepare for the game, huh?
Let me ask you, my question is, if you take the job,
right,
and see, this is again, it goes back to what I said yesterday, when we give it the Cowboys organization too much respect ourselves. He takes the job. What if he can't get some of this stuff or on the field? He can't motivate his team. What's the worst that they're going to do? They don't even fire coaches in Dallas. They're going to fire him. If they fire him, don't you know the public opinion to be on his side? So what was he scared about by making a power move with the team? What was he scared about?
What type of insurance do the Jones family give Mike McCarthy if he were to be able to speak his mind? What kind of insurance? What kind of wiggle room do the Jones family allow Mike McCarthy, since they already gave him sets of rules on what he can and can't do from the jump? They said, we'll give you this job, but you got to have Kellen Moore.
I want you to make sure you said something to your listeners earlier.
Right.
I want you to be direct over it. He's not one of the lowest paid coaches. He is the lowest paid coach.
Correct.
In the NFL.
And
if this is the crazy thing about it. If he goes on to win a Super Bowl this year and he doesn't have a contract, do he think in his mind that that's going to force the Cowboys to pay him? He would not be in Dallas next year because they would let him walk. Because they let a 2-time Super Bowl champ walk. Because Jerry said 35 years ago, if I got talent, I can get 500 guys to coach and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he's still been trying to get that ever since he's gotten there. He's been still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
He hadn't got it figured out yet. But he is held 10 toes down on that. So
all right.
He was still ain't going to get paid. So my question this, Law, if he went this far, if we're talking about being disrespected,
go ahead.
How much is he disrespecting himself
let me
by staying there?
Well, let me say this. Mike McCarthy did sign a contract. He is still under contract. But the disrespect comes from this right here, Coach, before I let you go.
Okay.
The disrespect came from, and I'm going to ask you with yes or no questioning. Was it Mike McCarthy's decision to get rid of Amari Cooper, yes or no? Was it Mike McCarthy's decision to get rid of Rob Davis, yes or no? Was it Mike McCarthy's decision to go pick up Trey Lance, yes or no? Was it Mike McCarthy's decisions, you see what I'm saying, to get rid of certain key players to help propel him in his job and in his duty? And it wasn't even, go ahead. What happened?
The coaches would have told him.
What happened?
If he, once those decisions got it, he should have walked.
Nah, he ain't gonna walk away. He ain't gonna walk away from the job.
He could have made the stink to the point.
Now that's what Bill Parcells did. Bill Parcells walked away from the job because of the fact that they went and got Terrell Owens.
He don't have to get fired. He don't have to quit to get fired and still get paid.
Yeah, but that's semantics. But I just say this, Coach. At the end of the day, it do happen all the time. But at the end of the day, they took weapons away. They took weapons away from Coach. If they took weapons away from Coach, and he was still able to win.
Let me ask you a question, Law.
Go ahead.
Law, if he does what happened all the time, and he just goes off he ain't got to be on the media, just in the office in a meeting about, hey man, these same issues. And they say, okay, we fire him. Don't the whole NFL and all the media and everybody know that he got fired because the Joneses are trying to run the thing?
I mean, but that's already given, though. We already know that the Joneses are running the thing. So where do he lose at? At the end of the day, well, he ain't going to cut his legs off from under his feet, Coach.
He got the money. He's gonna get the money.
Well, he want to continue. He's not going to blackball himself. He still want to coach. I mean, if he leave, if you leave slamming the door out of Dallas, you probably don't get another situation outcome.
This is the problem. This is what we're saying. This is where the arrogance come in from the fan base and all our people. We think the Joneses are more powerful than what they got. This perception that if you don't be here, we get rid of you. Nobody wants you.
Name me the ones that slammed the door and was prosperous since they left.
And all them garbage anyway.
Who? Look, Chan Gailey. Look, keep going. So keep going. Mike McCarthy's on a whole nother atmosphere and platform than them boys. Keep going.
Thank you.
Keep going.
He on a whole different atmosphere, those guys.
Right. But he will be considered. He will be respected elsewhere now because of the fact that people can see through the BS that he had to go through. So I'm quite sure that he can get another job now. But that wasn't presented, Coach. Coach, that wasn't presented. Listen, Coach, that wasn't presented to him in 2020 because people were saying that times. Hold on, let me finish this out. People at that time, people were saying things were better when Jason Garrett was here because we finished the season before 8-8. So by him finished 6-10, there were tons of people saying, "Hey, I don't know if Coach Mike McCarthy is him." And then in 2021, people were still hoodwinked because people thought that this particular outcome was based off of Kellen Moore. In 2021, he was not getting the respect. He was not getting the respect in 2021, and then in 2022, it was revealed that Kellen Moore really didn't know how to really regulate things. You see, that's what we've been dealing with. We've been dealing with a coach who had to coach through coaching. You see what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
One thing. I know you got to go ahead. I'm going to say this. This is the same thing with Dak Prescott. I bet you got people out there that really truly believe if the Cowboys don't pay Dak Prescott because they don't give him his contract or they don't give him contracts that they don't feel like he's a tier 1 quarterback, then nobody will give him a contract because if the Cowboys don't sign you, then nobody gonna sign you. So you got to be a Dallas.
Nobody. I think that people see that Dak Prescott is a really good coach. I mean, really good player. I think that people didn't see that.
Same thing we said.
No, Coach. Because when I do these lives, Coach, when I do these lives, people were literally telling me in 2021 that we didn't need Mike McCarthy. That people were saying that let Kellen Moore be the coach because he's doing all of the things on offense, as well as Dan Quinn. They was ready to get rid of Coach Dan. But people, me and Boss Cowboy Sports, we was telling everybody that, hey, this stuff ain't really what it is. But I appreciate you, Coach. I appreciate you, Coach, for calling in.
Hey, let me give you a message about Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn ain't never wanted that job at Dallas.
Appreciate you, Coach, man. Thank you so much for calling in. That's Coach Marv, man. Put y'all hands together for Coach Marv, man. Let me say this. I know y'all remember. Put y'all hands together for Coach Marv now. I want to see some Coach Marv praises in the chat. But I know y'all remember when everybody was said, hey, man, we don't need Coach Mike McCarthy, that Kellen Moore is behind all of this. Who's old enough to remember this, right? People were saying that in 2021 that this is Kellen Moore's offense and this is Kellen Moore's team and Dan Quinn. We don't really need Mike McCarthy. And then in 2022, things started to be revealed that, hey, Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy are not having the greatest tensions out here. And Mike McCarthy literally said, I don't like these stop routes. I don't like these X, Y, and Z. And at the end of 2021, also Amari Cooper said, hey, Kellen Moore is killing us, with these stop routes and these option routes, right? So what I'm trying to say here, the disrespect came from the jump. Now, granted, Mike McCarthy did accept the disrespect due to the fact that in largelyhood, he was out of coaching since 2018. He stepped out a year. And one of the concessions of coaching for this particular team, he had to accept Kellen Moore. the start of last season, we had Brian Broaddus on the show, not the last one, but the previous one, and they said that they got rid of everybody. They were expecting for Mike McCarthy to fall flat on his face last season. They were trying to fire the man. They were trying to get him up out of there. Law, do you have any truth to that? They got rid of Coach George Edwards. They got rid of Rob Davis. They got rid of Joe Philbin. They said, why are we paying $3 million to this offensive line coach? You got to pay these boys. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what, Verdi said, thank God Kellen Moore is not our head coach. But a lot of people was lobbying for that. And I can't make this stuff up. All right, I got the next caller. And I already know Darius, he's really not Team Mike McCarthy. So we finna hear another thing about Mike McCarthy. But spit your mind, Darius. It's your time.
And let the church say amen.
Come on.
Amen.
Now I gotta fight.
Amen,
I didn't think I had to fight. I didn't think I had to fight damn Coach Marv. Now I gotta fight you. But I'm fighting all of y'all, man. Come on. Bring it. I'm fighting all of y'all today. Come on.
Don't go against Coach Marv now.
Wait a minute. No. Wait a minute.
100% of the time, right?
Oh my God. He preaching the Jim. He's preaching the Jim Jones gospel on that. Here's what I agree with him though. Here's what I agree with him. No, I'm not drinking that. No. But here's the thing. Two things can be true. Like Mike McCarthy, he's not really a motivator or one of those guys, the rah-rah guy to get these guys going. And even when he tried to do that, when his first year here, he got cited. He was considered a racist because he was just trying to motivate the team about smashing watermelons, against a damn team that he beat was the Atlanta Falcons. He beat Dan Quinn's team, right? I can't make this stuff up. Wasn't Dan Quinn coaching the Atlanta Falcons in 2020?
Perhaps.
Yeah, I think he was.
Probably so.
Yeah, it was a Dan Quinn's team. They gave up all of them damn points. But keep going. What you got, bro? What you got for the show?
I see right now that you're 10 toes down on this Mike McCarthy thing.
No, I'm 10 toes down on the fact that, man, the dude is being disrespected. That's all I'm saying. Look, let's put a little respect on the man's name, but keep going.
Okay, but I see your allegiance when it comes to this. I see like how your opinion when it comes to my. I see where you're going with it, but so with that being said, it's like, okay. What I don't want to happen this year, Law, is don't have no built-in excuses from the start. Whatever he do, let that be that. And stand on that. I'm going to say it again. Don't have no built-in excuses for Mike. Oh, this is his second year of installs. Oh, he got to deal with this with the Joneses. Oh, it's which one is it, Law? Is he gonna do what you saying he gonna do? Is he gonna be that dude, or is it gonna be? Did you listen to the episode that I did yesterday? When I got through half of it.
When I know the law. When Mina Kimes said, "All right, CeeDee Lamb, yes, he's a top tier wide receiver. He was like ranked 3 or 2, respectfully. The next damn receiver was ranked 87th." When we played against the not the 49ers, but we can throw in that. But when we played against Green Bay Packers, they got a gang of receivers that's ranked 15, 20, and 30. There are more guys that's ranked than efficiencies. Yeah. So the efficiencies level. That's why I've been banging on the table. Like I like the underdog. I like the good guys that's on the bottom of the roster that's fighting for it. But at some point of time, I can't fall in love with that, right? The Cowboys' biggest impediment is the fact that they can't see down the line. I saw down the line. Yes, we were able to win. Look. Here's how my memory is. I can find you the video because I really don't like to call out Coach Marv. But it was very much so Coach Marv who said we are just as good with the weapons we got and we don't need a DK Metcalf because Michael Gallup is just as talented. You know and I know that Michael Gallup can't even tie DK Metcalf's shoes, right? But that's what Coach Marv is leaning on, that, hey, coaches should be able to elevate and get things going. But what I'm trying to tell all of y'all is that, yeah, a coach can teach and coach, but that ant can never tip over an elephant, you know? So that's the same thing when we was talking about the CeeDee Lamb. We like what Brandon Cooks could do possibly, but he didn't give us anything through the course of the season because he plays the same spot that CeeDee Lamb is playing in, inside, against the slot, two-way goes. We still had inefficiencies. We didn't have a guy, an ex-receiver that can demand roll coverages, that somebody can high point the ball and snatch the ball up out of the sky. You see what I'm saying? So we were undermanned with that, and we didn't have a run threat. Now, that could be falling on coaches that we didn't have the run threat, but we didn't have the ultimate ingredients because they paid $11 million to a guy that was coming off of injuries. So Mike McCarthy can only coach up to a degree, but Pollard just wasn't Pollard. You get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. But what I'm trying to tell you is, if Mike McCarthy is everything that you say he is, we would at least make it to the NFC Championship. I'm going to say it again. If Mike McCarthy is every bit of good that you're saying he is, and he's worth every bit and every last pinch of salt that you say he is, and a lot of the Cowboy fans think he is, we would at least make it to the NFC Championship. That'd be my first point. And it's so much to, like, I be having so many things to break down with this, but I only have a limited amount of time to do it within this phone call. That's why I be having to call in every now and again to get it all out. I can't just get it out, you know what I'm saying? Because there'll be other people after me. You see what I'm saying? I can never finish a full thought. But my thing with Mike McCarthy is like, please don't have the built-in excuses for him. If you saying that's why after the training camp and then we finna have our first season game, I wanna get a solid what am I trying to say? I want to get a solid opinion on you as to what is Mike McCarthy going to do this season, and then I want you to just stand on that. Don't whatever you say when I ask you that. Don't come back, like if it don't happen, don't come back and be like, oh, he had to deal with this. No, stay there. Don't try to vacillate and say, oh, I just want you to, whatever you say, just stand on it. You know what I'm saying? Because
but I'm going to stand on that, but I'm going to say again, I'm going to see if I can pull this picture up so that you can see what I'm talking about. Give me 1 second here, bro. Give me 1 second. I got to finagle and finesse. Hold on. My face gonna freeze up a little bit, and let me know what did Mike McCarthy had to do with this, and how can he outperform this, and how can this can be even an excuse? Look on the screen.
Hold on, let me
look on the screen. Look on the screen, and I'm letting it load up and everything. Like I get it. But
okay,
that's how it was all game. So Mike McCarthy is supposed to have the ability to outcoach that. Come on, man.
So this is my thing.
No, I'm giving the excuses now. Keep going.
I tried to explain this to you. I want to say maybe 3 calls ago, where I broke down the Packers game, and what I basically told you was, I get what you're talking about in regards to them running wide open like that, but it was 27-0 in the first half. The 0 means your offense did not score. I heard the guy before that you brought on talking about the offense performed. No, they didn't. They did a bunch of
no. That's what your coach just said. Coach Marv said he put up 33 points. So he compared this game to what Green Bay did to the 49ers. That's what I'm trying to say. But keep going.
I get that, but I'm making a separate point.
Okay.
The point that I'm trying to make is about the point that you're trying to make. You're talking about, can he outcoach the defense when it comes to them being schemed wide open? What I'm trying to explain to you is, if Mike McCarthy is such this offensive guru in the freaking playoff game against a rival.
Keep going, and I'm gonna give you my rebuttal. Now, I want you to, when we get off the phone, I want you to go back and watch that game and let me know how the run game looked and how many times we were sacked. We were sacked 5 times, bro. And if I had a bet, if I had $1,000, I don't even have $1,000 right now, man. I'm broke, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just playing with y'all. But if I had $1,000 to bet with you before the game, and I said, do you think that the Cowboys will have 5 sacks or the Green Bay Packers will have 5 sacks in this game? I guarantee you the over-under will be more people will say the Cowboys will have 5 sacks. We didn't get a chance. This defense that everybody talk about, Mama, Uncle, Cousin, Tupac, and Biggie, we didn't even put a single sack on Jordan Love. A single sack.
I got you.
We didn't get a single sack on Jordan Love.
I got you on that whole point. What if I were to tell you this is the main reason I called in. What if I were to tell you we missed out on the Super Bowl window because we didn't have the right head coach? So while we're okay with going 12-5, we could have went 14-3, won a Super Bowl.
Wait, who? Who's the coach? Who's the coach though? Who's the coach? Who you want?
That's the other thing. I can't get now, this is where people are going to try to dissect my argument. What I'm trying to tell you is that at that time, there was no, coaches that could have got you there other than a Dan Campbell. But I would have to, match up the timelines on that. But my main thing is, Mike McCarthy is not it.
Bro, you the same guy that said Brian DeBall is better than doggone Mike McCarthy. You fought me with that for now 2 years.
Did you see the level of talent that he went to the playoffs with? Versus us. Did you see?
Oh, man, appreciate you calling in, man. I got to be somewhere too, man. But I'm going to let my guy Gracia on. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in, Darius. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed, man. Boy, I'm telling y'all, man. These 2 callers, man, Coach Marv and Darius, man. God damn, boy. Boy, you think that Mike McCarthy is the worst? Look, bring Jason Garrett back. Maybe there was a Super Bowl window. Let's bring Jason Garrett back because, no, they are not satisfied with Mike McCarthy. Let's bring Jason Garrett back. Come on, man. This is out of control. I can't. Am I in the twilight zone over here from the 623? Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Hey, I'll be the mediator here because you're getting beaten up pretty well, man. But I will say where Marv and Darius are, right, is the mentality aspect. I think Mike McCarthy, the mentality isn't there because, I can analyze the coaches, in our own division. I think Nick Sirianni has a better mentality than Mike McCarthy. I think even Doug Peterson, when he was coaching there, has a better mentality. And granted, Doug Peterson took them to the promised land. They won it all. But, with Philly's fan base, their lines are much thinner than ours. At least we give longitudes and gratitudes for Mike McCarthy to actually try to, build the pieces. But it's every time we build a piece, we take a piece of the equation away from McCarthy. So
who's the guy? Who's the guy that? Damn, his name. He got a weird name. He's coaching for the Colts now. Sirianni was with the play caller. What's his name?
Oh, you're talking about Shane Steichen because Jonathan Gannon and Steichen.
All right,
so both of those coordinators on his team.
So, do you believe in the hearts of hearts? I know I get spicy, Nicholas Sirianni. He got the punchable face and everything. But do you believe that Nicholas Sirianni is a better coach than Mike McCarthy?
Hell no.
Okay, good.
I can say that without a doubt because, look, like I said. I said what Doug Peterson and Nick Sirianni have over Mike McCarthy is mentality. Because I will agree, Mike McCarthy was pretty monotonous. I remember, on First Take 2021, they're what the hell does Mike McCarthy even do? The 3-letter networks, they were going off on Mike McCarthy saying, what the hell does he even do? I feel our lines are running thin because we're observing other teams fire the guys and do okay. Shout out to the Twin Maker, the 49ers. They constantly get rid of defensive coordinators after their failures. But what remained the same is the philosophy and the principles of what they stand on. Kyle Shanahan has his players play on the caliber and the brand of football that they play on. So like they're physical, and I feel like just like in boxing, just like in combat sports, styles make fights. And I feel we're a finesse team, but we're trying to build the principles and the premises of being more physical, but we can't beat them at their own game because that's what they're good at. And I feel McCarthy, it's a mentality thing than more it is his coaching ability, because he's took in his guys there, like, because you remember in the podcast, like he said, like in the year that Mike McCarthy won the Super Bowl, they had 6 number 1 wide receivers. Name another guy besides CeeDee Lamb on our team that was the number 1 wide receiver. You see, we're top heavy, but we don't have depth in our roster, like from the top down.
Yeah. I give you that. This year, know why this year is so important? To counter what the belief system is with Nick Sirianni, because if they don't get back to that kind of caliber of offense of what Shane Steichen was able to do with that offense there, and they got Kellen Moore and they got all of this stuff going on with the Eagles, lad, then we will revisit the attitude approach, right? And but I get collectively what you're saying, bro. And that was a very measured situation far as Mike McCarthy. If I were to take away anything from Mike McCarthy, would be the motivational factor. He's not that good of a motivator from my aspect of me looking at what he's able to do. He talks about a lot of things post of what he should have done versus pre what he need to do. So, yeah, I will give you that. Appreciate you for calling.
But I also think, just like one of the things that I observed, like after the 49ers game, like Jerry Jones was on the presser, and he was like, that defense of theirs, they could be had. So I was kind of thinking, like, it's like, while our general management has the principles of being, gritty and more, like more of the mindset of wanting to win, it's like they don't apply those principles in their actions. They just speak it out. And, we believe in the principles of actions speak louder than words, but it's like crickets when it comes to actually wanting to get the personnel, because that's where I disagree with the previous callers. I think personnel does matter, because you tell me were the 49ers, were the Detroit Lions, were even any of these guys that made the deep playoff run, were they rolling with guys that were under 230 pounds? I think they had solid one-techs, and I think they had guys who were back there, and they had depth. They weren't just top-heavy, meaning if their guy went down, that they would be putting a 205 guy out there. Because I think darn well, I don't think Wanye would let Musgrave burn them wide open and have that touchdown. That's like an all-time clip now. Yeah. So, man, hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for calling in. That's a great call from Adam. Appreciate you, man, for the 623. Also, I got time, man. You got to have the starts. Ask Dez, folks, with the head coach. You want instead of being Mike McCarthy realistically. Yeah, you got to have the starters, man. So I'm gonna talk to I got the last 2 callers, and I appreciate you, man. But I got to bring the Twin Maker on, and then Landlord, I'm gonna bring him on. But I got Twin Maker on to spare me some time here and save me, bro. All right, so you're live, bro. Can you hear me?
Oh, what's cracking, Big Brody, man?
All right. Doing, man? So we talking about coach and players. Now, your team been to the Super Bowl. Y'all walked us multitudes of times in the playoffs, or even whether it's in the regular season, Twin. I need to know from your mindset, what are the things that you don't like about your coach? And I'm going to see if it's going to translate to what this conversation is all about. What are some of the things that Shanahan gets under your skin that you don't like, and which you consider moving on to another coach? But break it down.
Right now, it's just stubbornness. There has to come a point in your philosophy where there's certain things that you consistently keep doing against certain opponents that doesn't work. Or if a certain situation, they say situational football, there's certain situations it's just not your strength that we see once you play against the AFC North for us. There's issues, and so for my thing is the way that he played and his game plan is good for NFC opponents, but he doesn't have the ability to adapt whereas those other teams that play a different scheme or have a different coaching philosophy gives them trouble. And so if the goal is to win the Super Bowl, and I've seen that he hasn't necessarily made that adjustment in the last, it's been 7 years now, but some of the same thing keeps happening, whether the quarterback changes, whether the defensive coordinator changes, the results are the same results. And so now I'm at the point where it's like, dog, I need you to change your mentality against these certain, against these certain specific teams, or if the goal is to win the Super Bowl, some going to have to shake. You see what I'm saying? And
okay.
I don't want it, and that's my issue with him. He's too stubborn when he needs to be adaptable. You know what I'm saying?
So if you were to paint the picture for that to be in Cowboys land, because there was a deal whereas in the last, since 2021, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, there's been Andy Reid, Mike McCarthy, and I think the third team is your team.
Okay.
As far as total wins since 2021. So let me ask you this. Is that a mindset, personnel, or is it a coaching, just bad principle on the reasons why y'all haven't won? Versus the Cowboys, when the Cowboys played against Green Bay Packers, I had Coach Marv on about 30 minutes ago stating the fact that Green Bay ran just as many yards on you guys as they did us, but ultimately you guys were able to pull that game out. So how were you guys able to pull it out and the Cowboys or not? Is that mindset? Is it coaching? Is it principles? What's going on? Talk to me.
I mean, honestly, with that Green Bay game, we just have to thank God that the young quarterback in Jordan Love made some mistakes that actually benefited our team, whereas he was the better quarterback for the majority of that game. But he made some crucial interceptions at a bad time, which kind of turned the tide. And, I mean, at the end of the day, the coach couldn't do nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? And so for him to play against a team that on paper is more experienced, has more talent in majority of the areas, unfortunately, his mistake kind of caused them, big in that situation. You know what I mean?
So not to cut you off, because we are pressed for time. So is that more of a defensive adjustment, or that more of your head coach just being able to get into the mix of that? How, like, what is the finite reason? Because over here in Dallas land, we didn't make no damn adjustments. Dan Quinn didn't make no adjustments. It was all on the head coach and I guess the quarterback.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, you got to have the context as far as how your team is played and during what situation that you seem to say, hey, why are we keep finding ourselves in this one spot? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what we have to do. There's, with anything, you're going to have an area which you're very strong at. And for our teams, let's just be honest, we have more talent than a lot of other teams. And just going out there rolling the pigskin out there, they're going to win most of the games that they should actually go out there and win. You see what I'm saying? And so with that being said, it comes down to, can you adapt to better opponents at the highest stakes? And for us, you got to have the players to have the mentality and the belief to kind of go out there and finish the deal and play with like your hair on fire. And there's something that Patrick Mahomes always says, is that there's a certain trust that he has with Coach Andy Reid that no matter if I make a mistake or not, he gives me the ability and the grace to go out there and try some things, And so that's when your potential in anything in life, when you go out there and play with no fear, or you live life without the fear of failure, you can go in and climb some mountains that you thought that was unattainable. And I think that goes from coach philosophy mixed with talent. And then when you are able to merge that together, you have the results in which you do have, which is the Patrick Mahomes of the world. But when you try to kind of set that governor on that talent, you want to control it at all times. Now, when you meet that same force, there's a level that they can climb in which you are not able to climb just yet.
Yes, indeed, man. Hey, I appreciate you. Just brought out the T word, the talent word, because here's the one thing, and I say this, and I'm gonna say this till Cowboys blue in the face. Your team have the coaching staff that I think a third of the Cowboy fans would say, yeah, we would love to have that coach here. Your team have the playoff wins. A third of the Cowboys, it'll take away a half of the damn arguments, right? your team also been to the Super Bowl. And it don't matter how much talent, it don't matter how much coaching experience it is. You still need the talent. Tell me this, bro, before I let my guy landlord on. You get to the 9-yard line. It didn't matter how much skill set. It didn't matter how much scheme, system. At the end of the day, what did that offensive line do at the 9-yard line? What did that offensive line do? When you needed 9 yards, what did they do?
They crumbled. You know what I'm saying? And I make this real quick. The reason why they crumble, people don't know this. Our pass protection and things of that nature is usually built in already. Dak has a lot of control at the line. Our guys didn't. So when he was able to go up there and take care of what he needed to take care of, and then not necessarily have the wherewithal to, when that pressure comes, and the best player on the defense was unguarded and not be able to quit think and get out the way, y'all saw what happened. You know
Yeah. We saw what happened, and we had. and let me just say one more. I got to put one more in there. Y'all went to the Super Bowl before and played against that same team, and you and I are sitting in this seat. You know, I think I ain't had a full beard at the time. You know, but it was a conversation that said it didn't matter what scheme and what system you said. But if you would have had that quarterback that had the silver and blue with the star on the side of the helmet named Dak Prescott in that game, you beat that same team that y'all lost to in that Super Bowl. Did you say that?
Yeah,
in the system?
I did because look, Dak Prescott, we had him because there's a couple point in time. Steve Young said this at best over the last 4 or 5 years. He said in this modern day football that we play, in the Super Bowl, there's going to be 25 to 45 yards that a quarterback will be able to get with his feet in the way that they play football and the way that these guys are protected. When you are out here playing against these other teams, you got to be able to go out there because the talents are going to be so close and so even on both ends where you're going to have that little bit of oomph to get it done. And that's what we see what Patrick Mahomes was able to do. And I do believe that we did have Dak Prescott. He was able to be able to use his legs in that Super Bowl to get him a couple of easy first downs to kind of keep that clock running and then allow us to win the Super Bowl. I was honest. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. Hey,
I'm going to get up out of here, but y'all heard what that boy Devontae Adams said about Jimmy Garoppolo. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's a damn good special right there. Appreciate you, twin. Thank you for calling in,
all right,
man.
Y'all have a good one, man.
Yeah. All right, I got my brother, man, from the 205 landlord. Close us out, man. Come on, man. What you got?
What's happening with the law, man?
Man, nothing much, man. Just, man, boy, it was a hell of a day, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm up against the clock, too, but go ahead.
I know you ain't got that long, but I just had to hit you up, man. They talking crazy about my boy Big Mike Soprano. You already know I got to talk in on that.
Okay.
Listen, I know he ain't the greatest head coach of all time. We understand that. But I do think, man, the people in Cowboy Nation, I think we take what he has done for granted a little bit. Like, he ain't got us over the hump all the way like we should, but he's been a damn good coach for Dallas alone. You can separate his resume from Green Bay and Dallas, and he's still been one of the best coaches that we done had in Dallas in a long time, just by itself. That's without the playoff success. But, man, I have never seen a coach with this type of resume get disrespected so much.
Break it down.
It's ridiculous.
Break it down, bro.
Mike McCarthy has only had 4 losing seasons, Law, in his whole career. Since 2006, he's been a head coach at Green Bay all the way up to 2024, 23. You know, he missed 1 year when he was in the barn cooking up the offense. Okay, when you think about that, this man literally only had 4 losing seasons his entire head coaching career. On top of that, he got a Super Bowl win and 3 NFC championship game appearances. If you think about that, okay, and one of those losing seasons was when Dak broke his ankle.
Break it down.
Just put that into perspective.
Yep.
What if that year didn't even happen? He would have probably won some games that year.
Yep. Cause I think the Washington team won only one more game than us, and they won the division.
The offense was cooking, but the defense was just horrible. And I always felt like that defense was going to catch up to the offense, not like be good, but at least be formidable to the point where we can actually play and be a real defense on the field. So I felt like Dak was going to carry that team for a good amount of time too, man. So I just don't understand how he gets so disrespected. Like, it's coaches that got way less accomplishments and attributes than Mike McCarthy, and they get praised. Like, people actually praise a lot more other coaches than with worse resumes than he got. Yeah. I just don't understand that. And like I said, with the Dallas Cowboys, he done won us 12 games in a row. I mean, 3 12-win seasons in a row. That's a hell of an accomplishment. We ain't did that. We ain't even been in the playoffs back-to-back, Law. But this the guy that y'all want to get rid of? This the guy who made this a number one offense after the first year he got over Dak Prescott? Number one offense out the gate? You don't want to grow onto that? They said that's a hot seat. This man manipulated his way to be able to take over the offense, and his first crack at it, Dak Prescott should have won the MVP. You had the number one scoring offense in football, but this guy can't coach because he got a couple of flaws, which every coach in the league got.
That's why I brought on, and now you see the reason why I brought on a twin maker is because he talks to me all the time about the flaws and the inconsistency because you're gonna get it with every coach. Andy Reid has some flaws, right? And it took Andy Reid time to develop and build that system that he got over there. It took Andy Reid sitting back, bringing EB in, and letting him know how valuable the run game is. Look, he used to be just throw happy, man. Andy Reid used to be throw happy guy, right? And although EB is gone, he's no longer there, and they won the Super Bowl last year, but they kept some of those, hey, we need to have this in order to win. On top of that, the greatest thing that I can tell you too is that they didn't have this going on. If you look on the screen, they didn't have a person that's on the defense sabotaging. Spagnuolo didn't think about going elsewhere. Right. Spagnuolo only thought about getting that ring, man. And it's crazy, man, how people just can't see that. And I get it, right? We want to look for solutions. We angry, we frustrated about this team, but collectively, man, it was always a war within a war. Mike McCarthy versus Kellen Moore. Now it was Mike McCarthy versus Dan Quinn. Mike McCarthy versus front office. Jerry Jones. Mike McCarthy didn't want to get rid of Amari Cooper.
No, he's an offensive-minded coach. You know he didn't sign up for that.
But Kellen Moore wanted to get rid of him. Kellen Moore wanted to get rid of him because he called him out. But keep going.
Kellen was toxic for us, man. This is all I'm going to say. Out of the whole, everybody sit here and witness the conditions and the environment that he have to work in. We know that the front office is toxic. We know that the personnel people is not getting everything we need. But at the same time, on the same token, we sit back and point all the guns at Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
That is crazy to me, man. So, y'all, we going to continuously say, it's the coach, it's the coach, it's the coach. As if we was winning before Mike McCarthy got here. You see what I'm saying? It makes no sense. Like, he screwed everything up. We weren't doing nothing. We was worse than this, y'all. Do y'all realize that? Jason Garrett had us worse than this. Worst. And then it's not green on the other side all the time. You can get rid of Mike McCarthy, and now we can be a 500 team for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
We should stick with this team. This give us the best shot. Let us build on this. And if you could, get this man some more weapons or something. Give us some formidable weapons to compete against the rest of the teams in that loaded NFC. Like your brother team, the 49ers and the Lions and all these other teams with all these weapons they got. Give them some weapons to compete with them. And give him the stuff he need to win. We know for a fact, Law, and I'm going to let you go after this. We know for a fact that we don't have what we need to stop the run. Am I correct?
Facts. We know it now.
We know for a fact right now. We know it. Before the season even started, we know this. But guess what? It's going to be them same front office apologists, find a way to point the guns at Mike McCarthy. We already know that him and Dak, they going to be to blame for the whole season. That's what I said on one of my shows. I said, listen here, man. I don't know why when the season started, people started to forget what happened in the offseason. Like, the offseason don't exist. Remember this same feeling that you had when everybody else was getting all these free agents and they was building their team, improving on a day-to-day basis. Remember that same feeling when it's time to suit up in September. I want you to remember that same feeling and don't point all the guns at Mike McCarthy and Dak because you know it ain't true.
Ooh.
That's what I had to get off.
Hey! When I get back from Oxnard, you and I know you got boss land, but we need law of the land or something. We need to do a one episode a week, bro. Yeah, we need to do one episode a week, man. Sure. Yeah. Just pick a day, man. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We just need to do one. Cause, man, you got too much fire over here, bro. Come on with it, man.
We gotta get it, man. I'm gonna see y'all there in Oxnard too, man.
Okay.
So, hey, we gonna chop it up.
Let's do it, man.
We might be able to crank it up the first one on the spot then. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Appreciate it. Tell people where they can find and follow you again, bro.
Already, man. Landlord from Alabama with the same handle on all social media, man. I appreciate you, Law.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man. That's Landlord, man. Oh, my goodness, man. You talking about catching the alley, man. Shoot.
Goodbye.
I got to split. I'm supposed to be gone. I got a meeting to be at. I'm late, you know what I'm saying? But, but we going to be there. Appreciate everybody, man. It's a short get out, but, I got to go to this thing, so I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate those who was waiting to be in line to get called or what have you. But I got to dip, and I got to bounce up out of here. But I just want to tell y'all, man, there's no animosity between me and none of the people that called in. This was a really good show. I love the combativeness of going back and forth over the thought tracks of who was right, who was wrong, etc. But at the end of the day, Cowboy Nation, let's work together, man. Let's continue to grind together. Let's eat together, and let's do this the right and proper way, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to hit the like, share this content. If you super chatted and I didn't get to you, keep in mind I may go live a little later on tonight or today, and your name is still entered into the drawing to win the hat. It is. But let's go, Cowboy Nation. Appreciate y'all, man. One love, DC for life, not for short. Let's continue to grind, to shine. Come on with it, man. And speaking of that, I got to play some Landlord on the way out, baby. Come on, baby. Come on with it. Y'all let me know.
And this is greatness defined. Every line is divine. Verses boggle your mind. And
come on. That Landlord, baby. Come on.
Let's
get on up out of here. Roll those credits, baby.
Think about go in their house. They probably got my pics in a shrine. Damn, I never let these play me. They see us ballin', now they wanna switch teams like
the PG-13 version, baby.
Coming, I guess I'ma wait and see. I'm too cocky and confident that humble ain't for me. Lord, help me with my egotistical ways, but I'm amazed how they display such miserable hate. I never paid attention to what most to say. Their words are unimportant like prepositional phrase. They wanna see me crash and burn in a ridiculous blaze, but yet I rise like the Phoenix. Show these I'm great enough. Yeah, I know these haters can't stand me. Well, take a seat. I do it for the family. So bring the block to the Grammys, and if you try to stop me, you need a plan B. Yeah, I just do it for the real. If you ain't from the bottom, you ain't get how I feel. To go against the odds, go hard, chase meals, and pop out until you make it. Show 'em all you the greatest. I'm the great young poet, got flow flowing, it's mind blowing. I'm flamboyant when brainstorming, that's fair warning. For my opponents, there will be mourning before the morning. Every beat I eat and destroy, that's what the fans wanted. The hot
let's get it. That boy freestyling, styling, boy. That boy good. Hey,
I got them watching and they believe in me like a prophet. Cause the pics I'm cropping be masterpieces, they photoshopping. I'm from the bottom, assembled by the avenue. So I gotta pay homage to the hood to show my gratitude. And then my attitude is similar to an animal. These niggas ain't half as cool, I got different levels to tap into. I am the truth, you to know that I kill it. These
God, no, that boy spitting, baby.
My music therapeutic to the real spirit like it came from ancient Kemet. Ain't nobody with me, I'm the great. Yeah, I know these haters can't stand me. Well, take a seat, I do it for the family. So bring the block to the Grammys, and if you try to stop me, you'll need a plan B. Yeah, it for the real. If you ain't from the bottom, you ain't get how I feel. To go against the odds, go hard, chase meals, let the doubters see you make it, and show them all you the greatest. I'm the greatest.
All right, man. We up out of here, man. Let's go. One love, DC for life. Mama, I love you. DC for life.